Welcome back to the video blog. Adam Daniel Mezei is my name, your PMD, producer of marketing and distribution, pmdforhire.com. Welcome to my party. So I was watching the three-part PGA Masterclass, Producers Guild of America Masterclass on Transmedia, given by Jeff Gomez, with a Z at the end, and he is, of course, the CEO at Starlight Runner Entertainment. He's a transmedia specialist. What's transmedia? Transmedia is extending your particular storyline on a variety of different media platforms. For example, the most obvious one, if you have a film, there's a graphic novel, a comic book, there could be a virtual player game, there could be an artificial reality situation, there could be action figurines, a whole bunch of different permutations and combinations that are, let's say, the focus area of whole departments of talent agencies and by companies like Starlight Runner Entertainment. Anyway, a lot of people are interested in transmedia. It's kind of like the buzzword of the, I guess, the year. And most people think that their films are transmedia-able, if I can say it as such. Most people are thinking that just because you have a film project necessarily means that it can be extended into the graphic novel arena, that it can be made into a kind of a, let's say, a multiplayer game, or that it could be made into an iPhone app. See, the thing that I was learning yesterday during the three-part series, set aside some time, I've talked about it over on my Facebook page and, of course, PMD for Hire's fan page. The thing that most people are unaware of that are interested in transmedia, see, the basic thing that the studios are thinking about is like this. If they have a screenplay that is going to be a high grosser or something that's got A-list talent attached to it, they think automatically there's got to be a comic book extension here, there's got to be a video game extension here, there's got to be a virtual reality environment extension here. Not every single screenplay or film is worthy of a transmedia campaign. That's the thing that Jeff Gomez, as a specialist, is trying to convey to the audience. Not every single idea that you have in mind could necessarily be a successful business one, and just because a film grossed very highly at the box office doesn't necessarily mean it's going to translate well, let's say, to the book sphere. Jeff Gomez was assisted on this three-part series by Brent Weinstein, who is the head of digital media at United Talent Agency at UTA, which is one of the big five, I think, in California. And there were several really interesting bits and pieces that came out. It was broken up into three parts, and on the third part towards the bottom was the Q&A with the audience. It was the most fascinating part of the three-part series. And what Jeff Gomez was basically laying out was that transmedia is a specialty area. It's not a field that has expanded to the point that you can't get your head wrapped around it over the course of 2 months. It's also not a field that everybody can play equally. And like I just said previously, it's not necessarily a science that can be applied to every film project just because somebody thinks or somebody has access to, let's say, graphic designers that can put together a comic book. So it's things like that. I'm really interested in transmedia, not because I aim to be an expert in it, because I just like how you can do multiple things with a particular piece of creative material. I like that ability of just throwing it onto a bedsheet and bouncing it around in different ways. Kind of reminds me of Blade Runner and the way that Ridley Scott came to the final product of that and how there were so many different extensions. You get to see things like that when you watch the special features DVD of Blade Runner or any one of the classic films, really. I kind of admire that. And Jeff Gomez is a real engaging speaker. He's got a really interesting kind of face, and he's got an interesting presentation style, which I think makes him a very compelling person to listen to over the course of an hour and a half. Transmedia is something that you should really get to know about, even if you don't want to become a specialist in it. Why? Because as I had mentioned before, the PGA, the Producers Guild of America, has awarded the credit of Transmedia Producer, and it's going to be something that most studios are going to tap into. James Cameron is on it with Avatar. It's what's known. Actually, Jeff Gomez was breaking down a variety of different, let's say, top-level films, high-grossing box office films that are open for transmedia. Avatar, of course, being one of them, and they plan to have 3 Avatar movies. So Jeff Gomez is being consulted on. People like Brent Weinstein is being consulted on. Really interesting stuff going on in the space right now. People like, of course, Simon Pullman, who I featured on last Friday's Grab Ass. and other people. Let's see, Christine Denna. There's a lot of people doing some interesting stuff in transmedia. That space is only going to grow. Of course, people like John Reese and Lance Weiler, people that I know and I follow very well. And hopefully very soon the PMD, the producer of marketing and distribution, will achieve a separate production credit for all the work that PMDs do. So go back and check out that masterclass. Again, I've posted it on my Facebook fan page for PMD for Hire, or add me as a friend on Facebook. Of course, my name, Adam Daniel Mezei, at The Real ADM. And thanks again for watching, and enjoy Transmedia in the beginning early stages. Best time to get in is right on now. Don't forget to join the party tomorrow.